Yulong in tears as young Mei Mei is diagnosed with a rare sickness. It began with a whisper, a single, heartbreaking rumor that swept through Chinese social media like a storm no one wanted to believe. By the time it was confirmed, the truth hit harder than anyone expected. Beloved actress young Mei Mei, the radiant star known for her laughter, humility, and timeless grace, has been diagnosed with a rare and life-threatening illness. And the person hit hardest by the news, the one who could not hold back his tears, was none other than her longtime partner and co-star, Yulong. Hold on tight, C-drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The story broke late Tuesday night. Entertainment outlets, initially cautious, began reporting that young Mei Mei had been quietly hospitalized for fatigue and dizziness following an overseas film shoot. Her team released a brief statement confirming that she was receiving medical care for an undisclosed condition. But insiders soon revealed the devastating truth. Mei Mei was suffering from a rare autoimmune disease, one so uncommon that it affects fewer than 1 in a million people. For those who knew her, the revelation was unthinkable. Only weeks earlier, she had been walking red carpets, glowing with her usual elegance. Her interviews were full of laughter, her spirit infectious. Nothing, absolutely nothing, hinted at the silent battle forming beneath that luminous smile. But behind the scenes, Yulong had already known. He had been by her side from the moment the first symptoms appeared, the fatigue that wouldn't go away, the dizzy spells during filming, the sudden fainting spells that frightened even the crew. Doctors initially thought it was exhaustion, the inevitable toll of long hours and emotional roles. But when her condition worsened, Yulong insisted she go for full medical tests. The results shattered them both. Witnesses say that when the doctors explained the diagnosis, a rare autoimmune disorder that attacks the nervous system, Yulong's entire world seemed to stop. He didn't speak for several minutes. Then, quietly, his hands began to tremble. Later, when he walked out of the consultation room, his face was pale and his eyes were red. Reporters who happened to be outside the hospital captured the moment. Yulong, mask pulled low, wiping his tears as he whispered to her manager, "She doesn't deserve this." That photo, blurred, grainy, and filled with raw emotion, became the image that broke hearts across the nation. Social media exploded with sorrow. Fans flooded the internet with messages of love, prayers, and disbelief. Hashtags like #pray for Mei Mei, #stay strong young Mei Mei, and #Yulong stands by her dominated the trending lists within hours. Meanwhile, Yulong disappeared from public appearances. He cancelled upcoming interviews, brand deals, and even a film promotion, citing personal reasons. But insiders knew, he had chosen to stay by her hospital bedside. One nurse later revealed to a local reporter, he comes every morning before visiting hours. He just sits there, holding her hand. Sometimes he reads to her. Sometimes he just stares, silent, lost. For days, Mei Mei's condition remained delicate. She had good hours and bad ones. Sometimes she smiled, whispering that she didn't want people to worry. Other times, the pain made even speaking difficult. Through it all, Yulong stayed. It was during one particularly difficult night that witnesses saw him break down completely. A hospital staff member recalled, she was asleep, and he thought no one could hear him. But he was crying, quietly, painfully. He kept saying, "Why her? Take anything from me, just not her." That confession, retold later by staff who were moved to tears themselves, spread across the internet like wildfire. Fans described it as the sound of a heart breaking in real time. Soon after, Yulong released a short message to the public, his first since the diagnosis was confirmed. His words were raw, simple, and human. Sometimes life tests the people who least deserve it. But she's strong. Stronger than me. Please send her light, she can feel it. The response was immediate. Messages of love poured in from across Asia. Entire fan communities organized virtual vigils, lighting candles in their homes and sharing photos of white flowers, Mei Mei's favorite. Doctors have not disclosed the exact name of her condition, but they confirmed that it is treatable, though the road to recovery will be long, uncertain, and filled with challenges. Meanwhile, Yulong has reportedly moved his schedule entirely to remain near her. His studio issued a single, powerful statement: where she is, he will be. And that's exactly what the world saw. Yesterday, a journalist managed to capture a moment outside the hospital, Yulong walking beside Mei Mei's wheelchair as she was moved to a private garden inside the facility. She was frail, wrapped in a soft shawl, her face pale but serene. He was beside her, his hand gently supporting her shoulder. They didn't speak, but the look they shared said everything: devotion, fear, and the kind of love that stands unbroken even in the shadow of sickness. The photo flooded social media within minutes. Fans cried openly online. One comment read, "That's not just love, that's loyalty. That's what forever looks like." Later that evening, as the sun set over Beijing, Yulong posted again. This time, it was a simple video, a close-up of Mei Mei's hand resting in his. Her fingers moved weakly, tracing the outline of his palm. The caption read, "We're not giving up." It was viewed more than 50 million times in under 3 hours. Entertainment reporters began calling it the love story that broke China's heart. Industry colleagues described the couple as the symbol of grace under tragedy. Even veteran actors, people who rarely comment on personal lives, shared messages of strength and respect. And as the world waits, holding its collective breath, there's one thing everyone agrees on: this isn't just about illness. It's about the rare kind of human connection that refuses to crumble when life's cruelest test arrives. As one fan wrote late last night, under the glow of 1,000 virtual candles, "We've seen them laugh, we've seen them rise, now we will see them fight. Together." And somewhere in that quiet hospital room, amid machines and whispered prayers, Yulong leans close, his voice low but steady as he reminds her, over and over, like a mantra meant to anchor both their hearts, "You're not alone, Mei Mei. Not today. Not ever." And with those words, the battle continues, not just against sickness, but for love, for life, and for the miracle of holding on when the world tries to take everything away. The city of Beijing woke to a stillness that felt almost sacred. After weeks of anguish, tears, and endless speculation, the world finally received the news everyone had been waiting for: young Mei Mei has begun her first round of treatment. The hospital released a short but powerful update early that morning. The statement was measured, clinical, but beneath the calm tone, the weight of hope trembled. Young Mei Mei has responded positively to initial therapies. The road ahead is long, but her spirit remains strong. Those words, "her spirit remains strong," became the heartbeat of an entire nation. Within hours, fans flooded the streets near Beijing Union Medical Center with flowers, banners, and handwritten letters. Some traveled from other cities, clutching posters of Mei Mei in her most iconic roles. Others held candles in quiet circles, whispering prayers into the cool November air. Inside, behind those heavily guarded hospital walls, the atmosphere was both fragile and sacred. Young Mei Mei was awake, alert, and trying to smile through the exhaustion of treatment. The therapy had already begun taking its toll, her hands trembled slightly, her voice faint. But when Yulong entered the room that morning, something extraordinary happened. She smiled. Even through the pain, even through the haze of medication, her face lit up the way it always did when she saw him. And that single smile broke him all over again. Witnesses say Yulong froze for a second at the door, his eyes brimming before he hurried to her side. He knelt down beside her bed and whispered, "You're still the most beautiful person I've ever seen." She laughed weakly, whispering back, "Even like this?" He nodded, tears streaking down his face, his voice trembling but sure. "Especially like this." Those words, caught on a nurse's camera phone and later shared online, ignited a firestorm of emotion across social media. Within hours, millions of fans were repeating his line. It became a symbol of devotion. Comment sections filled with messages like, "That's real love. He's not just by her side, he's her strength." Even major news networks began referring to Yulong and Mei Mei as China's most unbreakable couple. Over the next few days, updates from inside the hospital trickled out like fragments of a quiet miracle. Mei Mei began responding to treatment better than expected. Her blood work showed slight improvement, her body stabilizing after the initial shock of medication. But the real transformation wasn't just in her physical progress, it was in the emotional strength she displayed every single day. Doctors described her as unshakably optimistic. Nurses said she often smiled and thanked everyone who came into her room. When a young nurse nervously told her that she was her biggest inspiration growing up, Mei Mei took her hand and whispered, "Then promise me you'll never stop fighting for your dreams, no matter what." Her resilience became a light for everyone around her, but no one drew more strength from it than Yulong. He was there through every second, through every injection, every sleepless night, every trembling sigh. He learned how to assist the nurses, how to adjust her oxygen tube, how to read her monitors. He didn't miss a single visiting hour. When she slept, he read her favorite poetry out loud. When she woke, he fed her soup by hand. It was love in its most selfless form, not glamorous, not staged, but raw, quiet, and utterly human. But the moment that broke everyone's hearts came one night, during a particularly difficult episode.